next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Tonight, the Jimmy Kimmel scandal just got a whole lot bigger. A vile joke about First Lady Melania Trump, a shooting scare near President Trump, a guest suddenly backing out of Kimmel's show, and now the Trump administration's FCC is turning up the heat on Disney-owned ABC stations. The corporate media are already screaming retaliation, but millions of Americans are asking a much simpler question. If Disney had zero tolerance for a Trump supporter holding a sign, why does Jimmy Kimmel still have a primetime megaphone after mocking the First Lady as an expectant widow? This is no longer celebrity gossip. This is a test of power, accountability, and who still gets protected. Now, this matters to every American watching because it cuts right to the heart of who runs the culture. The people you elect, or the media giants who think they answer to nobody. Kimmel made his crack about Melania just days before shots rang out near President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner weekend. Then Kimmel defended the joke. Then Oz Perlman, who was standing right there when the chaos erupted, pulled out of his Monday spot on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Those are facts, and the optics are brutal. Now add Disney's record. Congressman Lance Gooden highlighted that Disney reportedly banned a Trump supporter for life over a Trump 2020 sign on Splash Mountain. Yet Kimmel remains protected after smearing the First Lady. That's the double standard Americans are sick of. And while Democrats like Ro Khanna try to blame social media, they keep refusing to face the poison poured into the culture by years of reckless anti-Trump rhetoric. Americans see it. They feel it. And they're done being lectured by the same elites who excuse it. Now, before we go further, I'm going to share something very personal. Because in times this tense, your health and your peace, they matter as well. You see, for years, my wife battled chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis, endless doctor visits, treatments that didn't help. Watching her struggle daily, it broke my heart. Then Jonathan Otto introduced red light therapy to our family. Her pain vanished, anxiety lifted, she's sleeping soundly, full of energy and life again. If you haven't seen the interviews I've done with Jonathan, you must check out the playlist on this channel. What about my recovery and vitality? I'll tell you, it's better than guys half my age. It's been life-changing for us, and that's why I'm so grateful for red light therapy. It's backed by NASA research, FDA cleared, and studies show rapid pain relief, better sleep, faster recovery, and real results. Now, if you want to feel stronger and more energized, go to myredlight.com. It's linked below. Use NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles. Now, let's get back to that media fight that's exposing exactly who gets punished in America and who gets a corporate shield. Now, here's the twist that the media, they don't want to sit with. Even people who say Jimmy Kimmel's joke was disgusting are warning against pretending it was criminal. Seth Dillon said flatly that the joke was vile, but not incitement, not an excuse for censorship. Now that matters because the story is bigger than a late-night host. It's about whether accountability means actual standards or selective enforcement driven by ideology, access, and political favoritism for the anti-Trump club. Enter Brian Stelter. Disney's standing by Jimmy Kimmel, he says. Sees this as a First Amendment fight that's worth having, but it might be a long procedural fight with the FCC.
All right, Disney is standing by Jimmy Kimmel. Disney is ignoring the president's pressure to fire him, and that's important to point out first. We have seen some big examples of media company capitulation in the last year and a half, and this is not one of those examples. My sense is that Disney is prepared to defend itself if need be and sees this as a First Amendment fight that is worth having. But it might be a lengthy fight. That's because the Trump-aligned FCC is planning to take action against ABC as soon as this afternoon. I'm told by a source familiar with the matter that, quote, the FCC is preparing to call in all of the TV station licenses for ABC Disney for early renewal. Now, Semaphore was first to report this development. My source says the paperwork is about to be filed. So this would be widely viewed as an act of retaliation for airing Kimmel's show and resisting Trump's pressure. It's important to say here, station licensees have broad legal protection. ABC, if it chooses to fight, will likely win. The FCC has not issued one of these early renewal orders in decades until yesterday when it randomly ordered one against a small station owner. So in the case of Disney, these station licenses come up for renewal every 8 years, and they're not due to be renewed for a couple more years. But FCC Chairman Brendan Carr wants to challenge Disney. He wants to order those renewals in and start a process now. And it does start a lengthy legal process. There will be plenty of chances for Disney to defend itself. And like I said, ABC will probably prevail in court. But stations have to be willing.
Okay, we get the point, dude. They called in the licenses 2 years early. I love it, man. Stelter calls it retaliation, says Disney's digging in, but critics are pointing to Disney's own double standard, including a Trump supporter banned for life over a sign while Kimmel stays on air. Remember this? Lance Gooden points out Disney banned a Trump supporter for life for holding a Trump 2020 sign on Splash Mountain, yet Kimmel still has a job after calling the First Lady, Melania Trump, an expectant widow.
Trump supporter displayed his love for the president. He says tells Diane McInerney that he was banned from Disney World for life.
Call it Backlash Mountain. This Disney superfan says he was banned from Disney World after raising a Trump 2020 banner on Splash Mountain.
Yeah. But Jimmy Kimmel gets a pass, right? People that spend their actual money at Disney, and you know it costs a lot to go there, hold up a Trump 2020 sign. I can only imagine how much money this guy and his family have spent at Disney if he's a super fan. But yet they ban him for life. The Disney hypocrisy is why the fight isn't going away. Now add the timing. A guest who was right next to President Trump when shots rang out is suddenly pulling out of Kimmel's show. Mario Nafal writes that mentalist, I guess his name is Oz, is that how they say it now? Whatever, Oz Perlman, pulled out of the show on Monday. 2 days before this, Kimmel ran a skit calling Melania a expectant widow. What do we have here? This is Lindsey Graham.
We're going to introduce legislation that would authorize $400 million to be spent to secure to build the presidential ballroom. Underneath, there will be a lot of military stuff. There will be a Secret Service annex, and we've paid for it by offsetting it with custom fees. But the estimate is $332 million. We're going to do $400 million because I think it's probably going to take more. Private donations can be used, but I think they should be used for buying China and stuff like that.
Well, okay. Yes, we know about the ballroom. We've been covering it here. But the reality is now the calls are getting more intense after what happened over the weekend. But the optics are brutal for ABC, the backlash getting more personal. This one, Tony Kinnett says, I guess I don't see the issue with a husband responding to your wife wants you dead with, well, I hope you get fired. That's pretty much, that's really it, boiled down. Now, Rod Blagojevich, even weighing in, less than 48 hours after a third attempt on President Trump's life, J.B. Pritzker went on CNN to defend his earlier comparison of the Trump administration to Nazi Germany. This is the type of rhetoric that encourages political violence. What an a-hole. Blagojevich arguing the left's reckless rhetoric is feeding a climate of political violence. I couldn't agree more. He says incendiary language has consequences. Now that pressure is moving from words to action. The new report, the FCC has ordered early reviews of Disney-owned stations. FCC ordered early reviews of 8 Disney-owned ABC stations. Sharp escalation of the Trump administration's fight with major media outlets. So the regulatory fight Stelter warned about front and center. And as ABC faces the heat, another member of the Hollywood Club is jumping in to defend Kimmel. George Clooney slammed after defending Kimmel's quip about expectant widow Melania Trump.
Melania Trump apparently calling on ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel. This appears to be in response to a segment that Kimmel aired days before the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In that segment, Kimmel said the First Lady had the glow of a, quote, expectant widow.
Disgusting. So Clooney and the media class circle their wagons. Democrats are still dodging the issue. Congressman Ro Khanna tries to pin the assassination attempt on social media instead of his own side's rhetoric?
Well, it's first an acknowledgement that political violence is out of hand, that it is affecting people in both parties, that we both parties have a responsibility to address it. There should be a national commission, and we can look at concrete things. One, the role that social media is playing in amplifying the most sensational, outrageous content that sometimes incites violence.
No, it couldn't possibly be the rhetoric from the left on every cable news station and every press conference, right? Kind of trying to spread the blame everywhere except where voters think it belongs. And through all this, Kimmel is not backing down, defending the joke after the White House Correspondents' Center shooting monologue. Kimmel defends joke as White House demands action. What did he say? It's okay, I'm an asshole. Describe the remark as a light roast. Oh, is that what you call it? Referencing the age gap with Donald Trump. How is that even? Really? The age gap? That's how you're going to put it on, even after, at that point, 2 assassination attempts? The age gap. That's how he's trying to play this off. Wow. Seth Dillon makes a careful distinction. The joke was ugly and revealing, but calling it a crime opens the door to the same censorship game the left loves to play. Seth Dillon says, Kimmel hopes Trump will die soon, and he's projecting that dark desire onto Melania. It's not funny, but it's not actually incitement to violence either. Let's not pretend his bad joke was a crime so we can justify censoring him. That's how the left operates. Fair point. That brings us to the left's final talking point, with Olivia Troy claiming the FCC move wasn't oversight at all but retaliation. Monday, Trump demands ABC fire Kimmel. Tuesday, the FCC orders Disney to file early license renewals 2 years ahead of schedule. That's not a coincidence. That's retaliation. The First Amendment only works if the government can't threaten your license for content they don't like. Every broadcaster in America is watching. That's the point. Yeah, I mean, listen, we all know, guys. You know, and I know. I mean, even YouTube and Alphabet and Google admitted that the Biden administration pressured social media to censor conservatives. That's no good. It's the same thing if the Trump administration is telling ABC to censor Kimmel. I mean, it's the same thing. It's this very slippery slope. Now, I think what Kimmel said was disgusting. I cannot stand his humor. It's so sad to see how far he's fallen. I used to really enjoy, catching snippets of his show many, many years ago when he was funny. I mean, listen, Kimmel, just back off, man. Shift gears. Do something else. You can make jokes about other things, but you don't joke about the president dying. Can we just agree to that? See, that brings us to the point. The FCC has ordered early reviews of 8 Disney-owned ABC stations. Yes, I'm laughing. I'm kind of gloating about it. But it is a serious escalation. It does tell the corporate media the free ride is over. Stelter says Disney sees this as a First Amendment fight. Olivia Troy calls it retaliation. Fine, they can make the argument, but supporters of the move, they call it something else. Accountability after years of arrogant, one-way attacks from protected media brands that smear Trump, mock his family, and expect zero scrutiny. That's what Trump's doing. See, President Trump and the America First movement are forcing a choice. If these companies want the privileges that come with broadcasting power, they can stop pretending basic standards are oppression. For once, the establishment does not get to control both the insult and the investigation. So here's the bottom line. The firestorm did not explode because of one bad joke alone. It blew up because Americans are fed up with a rigged system where Trump supporters get punished, Trump's family gets trashed, And giant corporations hide behind sanctimony while anyone pushes back. Disney can stand by Kimmel if it wants. The Trump administration can review licenses if it believes the public interest demands it, and the country can judge the whole spectacle for itself. So here's my question for you. Should ABC keep protecting Jimmy Kimmel? Does he have the right to say that? Is he protected by the First Amendment? Was it incitement? Or just a bad joke? Let's have a conversation. Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you want to bypass the big tech censorship and get a direct message from media or phone, text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's the number on your screen. Check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Share this report everywhere and subscribe if you're done letting the corporate media set the rules. The America First movement is wide awake, and the gatekeepers know their monopoly is cracking.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.